This podcast is brought to you by the team at New Zealand Trucking Magazine. Remember to get your hands on the latest issue from your favourite retailer or subscribe now at nztrucking.co.nz.
Keep on Moving, the official podcast of New Zealand Trucking Media.
Trucking Radio 24/7. Time now for The Moot, where three passionate truckies talk trucks.
The road is gone again. The road I'm on is at a sudden end. Tons of shit obstructing me and my friends. And here they come to comb the road again.
That was absolute hours in the preparation.
It was, gentlemen.
Absolute hours. Well, marvellous. What a month it's been since we were here last time.
Yeah.
A whole month.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We've got a brand new piece of motorway section.
Yes, to
open,
celebrate.
And we've got a brand new section of motorway on the move.
On the move and waiting for its full accompaniment of orange cones.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, they're in mass production as we speak.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I hear Transmission Gully is finally finished. It came out this week as well.
Oh, did it?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, evidently Transmission Gully is actually officially finished. That's an ominous statement.
Yes. Is it the same engineer that signed off the one up north?
Hey. Hey. That's a slippery slope you're on there, Gal. Oh, Gav's lost it. This episode of On the Road, Keep On Moving. What are we? We keep on moving. I listen to Mike Williams too much. Plug for On the Road podcast. Mike Williams in Australia.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, the boys. The rebirth of trucking life is almost with us.
Yeah.
If you're in Australia listening to this, go to the Casino Truck Show on the 5th of August, and you can pick up your red hot copy of the rebirth of the Trucking Life masthead.
So
right,
cool.
that's enough advertising for him. Keep On Moving is the podcast that scored global acclaim. In the last month. We did really well. What we got?
That
28.
came out of the blue.
28th most listened to transport podcast for
globally.
Yeah,
Number
it's quite
28.
Yeah, that was really good.
So
But-
it can't have been that bad.
Yeah, this episode of Keep On Moving brought to you by Curals, the throat lozenge to keep your editor working.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
It
Yeah,
is.
the medication of choice.
If I sound a little bit croaky today and I don't spill my beer today, it's because, I'm drinking a nice cup of
Hot tea.
warm, hot
Yeah.
ginger and lemon tea to soothe my poor throat so I can be here and contribute to the conversation.
Ah, well done, mate.
Keep On Moving podcast, Dave McCoid, editorial director at New Zealand Trucking Media, Gavin Myers, editor of New Zealand Trucking Magazine, and Captain K, everything else.
Well,
Yeah.
Yes, General Dog's body, but the dog's body is actually here. But, no, she's out at the moment.
Olive,
Olive.
the office dog. You're not
Olive,
allowed
the
office
office
dogs in all
No.
workplaces. Olive doesn't know how lucky she is. It's
That's
been in the
right.
news this week.
Yeah, but Olive doesn't identify as a dog.
No, Olive doesn't identify as a dog. Not at all.
So she's safe.
Yeah, well, was it something to do with the powers that be in Wellington had
yeah.
their dog at work in a
Yeah,
rented
yeah.
place that the landlord didn't want the dog at work?
It was probably the most productive day they've had in years.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right.
So what topics have we got today?
Ollie's
What do we-
big day out, doesn't it? Ollie's big day out has to be what the industry representing itself as only the industry can.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, just fantastic. I mean, I don't know what other word to use to describe it. I mean, you were there, Carl. You were amongst the atmosphere and the...
Yeah, well, we got the big call up from Barry and Josh Hart and so forth, the Hart family. And, immediately we jumped on board. It was just one of those things that, you could not be there. You had to be. Just to document it. And, it was just an outpouring of generosity at a level that, the guys are just renowned for. But to see it again in action was incredible. 64 odd trucks heading down the expressway together was just magic. But young Ollie, this is it. He's just one of those guys that he was absolutely just thank you all day long. High fives and hugs, and just one of those little troopers that has got a heart of gold and appreciated everything that was done for him. So that was pretty epic day.
And I think there's an element of a two-way thing in it as well. Like, I think there's all of that and everything that you've just talked about there, Captain K. But I also think that as well as kids not being able to get to trucks in the way they used to be able to get to them because 3 or 4 people in Wellington decide that's a dangerous thing and that they should never go near trucks, and we all just sit back apathetically and nod and say, okay. Truck drivers miss kids.
Yeah. Like being part of it.
Yeah, it's a two-way enthusiasm. It's like, here's an opportunity for us to take a kid for a ride in a truck and show him what it's all about.
Yeah. And he couldn't get enough of the trucks. He just didn't know what to do with himself, did he?
Yeah. He walked around the whole lot when he arrived there, and it was he just didn't know which one to pick. And so it was just he was just foaming, and that's what it's about. And that's what I did when I was his age.
Yeah.
Head out to Copa and so forth and get the bucket out and the blimmin' sponge and so forth and wash wheels and blimmin' diesel tanks and everything, whatever you could reach, and that sort of thing. And it was...
You were lucky to survive.
Yeah, oh, mate.
You were lucky to survive. How many fingers have you got left?
Mate, I could have tripped over and fallen into that bucket and drowned.
How many fingers have you got left? How many?
Shit. Oh, I've actually got all 10.
Oh, isn't that how many you're supposed to have?
I think so.
I've got 10 too.
Have you?
Maybe we were mentored and trained by truck drivers that wanted to teach us from their heart and show us how to do the job properly. And turn us into good future truck people themselves.
Exactly.
Far out. There's a thought.
Yeah.
Not to mention parents being able to bond with their children when you work 70 hours a week and then a couple of muppets in Wellington decide that you can't spend time with your kids in the weekend, showing them what you do for a living.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's a topic for another day, maybe.
Really. But Ollie's
absolutely
big day out, unreal.
Fantastic response. And of course, the Hart family.
Oh. Yeah, well done to them and well done to everyone who came on board, really.
Yeah.
64 trucks.
Yeah.
That's a lot goes into getting the truck from, how far away did they come?
120 k's.
120 k's, I think was the furthest one.
I think.
Furthest travelled.
That tells you something about this industry.
Someone told me, local guy here, I think someone told me that Brendan Main here couldn't make it on the Sunday and shot over on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Shot over the day before to take him for a burn because he couldn't make it on the Sunday. That is trucking. That is heartland trucking. That.
Yeah. But the thing is also, it was just to sort of top this topic off. It was all the ancillaries that were there as well, like Service Foods arrived with one of their great big blimmin' 8-wheel Isuzu chiller trucks, chocker full of food and so on. Their big caravan, staff and all that sort of thing, got the barbecues and everything going. There was hot dogs and drinks and everything for everyone, that sort of thing. It was all free.
Yeah.
Free. CNR Developments, the Ross brothers. They opened up the doors and let everyone through the museum.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and the venue as well, somewhere for the trucks to congregate and actually, so they could tick the box in the traffic safety management side of the. That was that's again another topic for another day. But anyway, the thing was that the generosity, the outpouring of generosity was just phenomenal. You just saw it coming from all angles. So.
And of course, the great thing, there was enough good road to get them from Hamilton to Cambridge and back.
Yes.
So,
Yes, just thank goodness. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well done, team.
Heart by name, heart by nature.
Absolute big hearts. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So, what are we? We're just about at the end of July. There's a couple of more weeks left on the shelves. Gav, is that right? For the July issue with the big green Ramsey MAN on the cover?
Yep, exactly. We've just put the finishing touches on the August issue, but more on that later. For the moment, the July issue is still out there, so if you haven't gotten your copy yet, then you know what to do. The big green FJ Ramsey MAN TGX on the cover, and what a machine. That was a great couple of days with a great crowd as always.
Yeah, and Colin being the driver being from the Lockley gene pool. So that meant his work ethic was off the scale, and of course Mike Ramsey, who is in charge of ops at Crusader and, of course, Ramsey and B trains needs no further discussion when you're a New Zealander, because John Ramsey is the father of the on-road B train in New Zealand, and
He is the
as
man.
this job always delivers people that you would always love to sit down with and meet, and then something turns up and you can, and Mike says, yeah, give. Mike's words were, I said, do you think John would be willing to sit down and have a yarn about, yeah. No, you'll get him talking, all right, it'll be stopping him that'll be the problem. and so I got in contact with John, went to Maraidai, and 2.5 hours, just had the most, I don't know, what's the word? If you're a transport truck groupie like us, that we grew up watching it and observing it, and then you get, and he just spellbinding couple of hours, but the thing is once again you learn the lesson that they're just normal people trying their hardest to make ends meet in tough times with innovative ideas, and then 20, 30 years later you get this great story, and a neat truck. Like the TG3 MAN has been a truck that I've obviously been able to follow since its birth, thanks to the wonderful people at MAN. And I remember going across, and seeing it for the first time in Munich when the ribbon was cut, and then, in that cab and the Smart Select wheel to manage the infotainment. Yeah. And I remember thinking, that is cool. Yeah. And it's like we're talking about with S-Way, when you're in New Zealand and all of a sudden there it is, looking back at you idling.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm in Bennydale and there's a TG3.
Yeah. You can't. But for me, the continuing the heritage of the colours from the old K-model Kenworths. I mean, what a neat twist, eh?
Yeah.
They're just far out. That's cool.
And just the whole thing of, having that issue of getting posts and poles up to the top of sheep stations back in the day, with John, and then seeing the B train in Canada and thinking, that'll solve the trailer problem. I can hook that and tow it up, and then unhook that and hook that up and tow it up. And then, problem's gone away, and then look what happened,
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yep. No, fantastic story.
And great, it was fantastic talking to Colin, the driver, sending out, the big ups to his uncle, John Lockley and Irene and Waihi for the grounding. Just what we were talking about before when we were talking about the kids and around trucks and being taught by the masters of the game, and then they end up masters of the game themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's that. That was the big green man. Fantastic story. Grab it. We've got the Rockley show that Carl was able to visit and Dave wasn't.
That was the Carl and Gavin show.
That was the Carl and Gavin show, because some of us.
Yeah, and
lots
actually
of
on
pictures
that,
for you to enjoy there, in the magazine, Dave.
To take to the little room in the morning.
It's a high quality publication, mate.
Yeah, but just go over the page there, back to it, and there's that photograph there that we should actually run a poll on that photograph that Gavin took. The three.
This here.
No, over. One more page.
One more page.
Yeah, putting the three side by side.
Yes.
Come on, which one would you drive away with?
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Page 42.
Yeah. There you go, everybody. Have a look at page 42, top photograph, and let us know. Let us know what.
Three from the era, isn't it?
Yeah, let us know what your choice
top
is.
Top of page 42.
Yeah, which one would you drive? Yeah, there you go. Let us know.
What can you do? Send email to editor at NZTrucking.
Yeah, I reckon. And,
do that.
Yeah, and we might even do a random draw or something, eh?
Comment on the podcast or send a voice note into Trucking Radio 24/7.
Yep. Comment on the podcast, voice note to Trucking Radio 24/7. Annoy Murray, annoy us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, that's it. Yep.
What else?
Then I guess the next big story, and one that we've received great feedback on. Not to toot our own horns or anything. We're humble people, but the Kenworth K100G classic top truck, the old Dallas gas truck. That
was something pretty special. I mean, you write a story here and there and so on, and it carries a bit of weight in there. But that one there was just, I mean, the people we spoke to and the stories we got out of that, and there will be future stories on that story, to be fair. It opened up, not a can of worms, but it opened up some really interesting...
A pot of gold.
A pot of gold, not a can of worms. A pot of gold is what it opened up. So the Dallas Guest K100G from back in the day, and there it is again, centrefold once more, and very, very deserving classic to be there once more.
And of course, every year we like to do absolutely one, if not two, like classic older trucks in the top truck, because you try and reiterate all the time, the top truck is not a new truck thing. No. The top truck is if it's cool and if it's neat and if it's working. And our journey with Mark on this truck has been long. Mark contacted us when he got it. I got to do this to it. I need to do this to it, but it's coming. It's going to be this. It's going to be that, and it was a great conclusion to a great and
deserving poster truck, most definitely.
Well done, Captain K and Gav.
Sure. It was stunning, and even Roadmaster with their advert that went alongside of it was pretty damn cool. Things like that. Everyone got on board with that story.
Oh, that's where people get it, eh? Like the guys at Roadmaster, photograph of the truck now, photograph of when Dallas had it, and because for me, in advertising, that isn't the key to advertising and road transport, the proof of longevity, the proof of what you're going to buy will still be with you in 15 years if you want it, still earning a quid.
That's exactly it. There it is, black
there
and
it is, it's fantastic. And what else have we got? There's enough in there to entice anyone to.
We got a nice spread of snapshots of Canadian trucking, eh?
Yeah, Canadian trucking, eh?
If you're into your North American gear, from a good mate, Grant Schofield.
Yes.
He took a trip up to British Columbia a little while back and shared some photos with us.
Yeah.
And if you're into your American gear, keep an eye out for the August issue. Won't say more on that right now, but something really special in there for you.
And Grant Schofield, our good mate, Grant, he is the global trucking. Like he has got photo. He goes everywhere to take truck photographs, from bloody Malaysia to India to Pakistan to Finland to England to Europe to the United States. It is just his collection of material is. But he's got some Canadian stuff here.
It's not 389 Peterbilts with bull bars on them. It's it's well, they're moose bars or caribou bars or something, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And my every time I met Canadian truck drivers, I had a fantastic day out years ago with a Canadian truck driver, and it always just cracks me up when I hear it, sort of think about Canadian truck drivers and that, because he put me through a series of challenges while we were driving along. It's like, hey, if you were a real photographer, you'd climb out and climb up on the headboard while we're moving and take a photo down over the roof and the bonnet. Okay, I'm out of here. Right. You know what I've always wanted? I've always wanted a picture of the truck from laying down on the checker plate on the tractor, looking back on. I think he was trying to get rid of me. Righto, I'm out of here again. Righto. And what a neat section of photos to have now.
Yeah.
And, of course, the magical Mr. Crooks.
Oh, Marty and his...
how does he do it?
What a talent.
Yeah, magnificent CH of Mr. Hills. Yeah, the late Mr. Hill. It's that's something pretty, magnificent, isn't it?
Oh, and I'm just so jealous because I sit down with my... Shut up. I sit down with my plastic model, and I've got one of those bloody big seeing eye things, those magnifying things on a stalk, and I still can't see where the two bits of plastic meet, and just,
Oh, mate.
And then people come along and say, oh, look, you've built a pot plant hanger out of plastic. I'm like, no, that's supposed to be a W model Kenworth.
No, Marty's done a magic job there, and it's a CH. It's a bit of a rare beast in 1/25th scale, but there it is, and the process that he went through to make the trailer, fully operational. It's just phenomenal. And there is another project that he's working on right now. I won't go into any detail right now because it will be a future story because it's very worthy. But again, his skills are going to be on show. And the thing with Marty that is just awesome is that he wants to share these photographs and the story about how to build it because he's that passionate about the hobby. He's a fully qualified chippy. He's a builder, but he's a truck nutter, an absolute foamer. And the models for him is his true passion and outlet, and he wants to share that and how to do it.
Yeah.
There's no secrets.
There's
with
no
him.
secret. Yeah.
It's absolutely, this is how it's done. This is what you can do. You do this, you do that, you do the other, and to try and sort of inject the hobby with some interest and give the young and upcomings the insight into how to make it happen.
Goes back to what we were talking about earlier with truck
exactly.
drivers.
It's the same thing. Same thing. Exactly.
So, you know Marty well.
Yes.
Question.
For some years.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
My only concern is,
Yeah.
like, if you take along a set of plans and say, this is the house we want, can you build us our house? And he goes, yeah, no trouble at all. Like, in fortnight later, do you get something like 1/25th the scale of that?
No,
built out of evergreen sheet.
Yeah. We were hoping for one we could stand in. Like,
Yeah, but no, it's 25th scale, but it's all fully operational.
yeah. Yeah.
It would be with them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What's for tea tonight, love? Tiny results on our miniature oven.
Yeah. A chop.
Yeah. A chop. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. No, that's worth a read and a look at. Definitely, absolutely.
Righto. What else? Well, I've been away, so what else has been going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, crikey, you've been away, far out. I mean, regale us with some of that,
I
mate.
think we should talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what does someone who takes photographs and write about trucks do when they got 2 weeks off? Is they go away and take photographs of trucks and
Exactly.
And look, it's where do you start? 2 weeks in I love the Outback. Three places I love. New Zealand, obviously. I love the vast open expanses of the United States of America at doing 1 million miles an hour on the interstate network, and I absolutely adore the Outback of Australia. It is just its own thing, and the trucks are just cattle trucks,
Yeah.
But we had a major task. Well, I had two tasks really on the trip, apart from enjoying the trucks and everything, and the road trains and the wide open spaces. We went to the Road Transport Hall of Museum in Alice Springs.
Alice Springs.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I've had this thing for decades about those two rotten off Viscount trucks in America, in Australia, the two rotten off Viscount cattle trucks that carted from Maryvale to Camberwell, and they were the first proper. Oh well, I'm going to get slaughtered here because of Kurt Johansson's truck and that, but the rotten offs were the first trucks that moved lots of shit quick at sort of almost road speed that we would not quite know today. Like there was a great quote from a cattle drover who was told that trucks will eventually take over, the movement of mass cattle. And in one of the little books I've read on it, he said that everyone was poo-pooed that into that's never going to happen until they saw the rotten offs and thought our livelihood's under threat, And I got to sit in one of those because there's a restored one at the
museum.
At the museum, and so he got to sit and have a look at one of those up close, and they would have been a big truck in their day. They changed the scene of on road transport. And Captain Carl, you've got a massive part to play in the next task.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to see this in the August magazine because we, basically.
Can we blow the gaff on it though?
Oh, I think this is probably the time to, sort of let the listeners know. But
so those of you of our age-ish and who were born and raised in New Zealand, sorry, Gaff.
I don't qualify on either of those accounts.
No.
And there's some merit in that.
Yeah, that's right. You're older, but you weren't born here. The 1987 Trucking Life Truck of the Year for those us truck mad young people of the era was the expat New Zealander Neville Dobbs's Mack Superliner Blue Thunder Triple Northern Territory Freight Service.
Yeah.
And the photograph was taken on the old Stuart Highway at a place called Churchill's Head, which is an outcrop of rock that, if you look at it in a half-drunk state, when the sun's right, it looks like Winston Churchill.
Or clicking.
Yeah, or you're scratching. It looks like Winston Churchill's head. And so when the Highway Replicas Mack Superliner Northern Territory Freight Service model came out, Captain K had the idea of he said, that'll never do. if they should have done Blue Thunder.
Exactly.
And so he did what only Captain K can do and dismantled one completely down to the last chassis rail.
Yeah.
And reassembled it and built it a sleeper and
that was it.
Put a flushing toilet in it and go.
Not quite. But no, it was one of those things that it had to be done. I mean, NTFS, you know, when you think NTFS of sort of that era, I mean, yes, NTFS had superliners as company trucks. They were pretty basic. They still had the spec to do the job and so on. But that one that Dobbsy had was something pretty special. Blue Thunder was just one of those trucks that you didn't buy it new. I mean, he was there was a progression. Yeah, that's right. There was a progression of ownership.
I think Leroy Dean had it new, didn't he?
I think that's the name. Yes, I think you're right there. But the bottom line is that he had it when it was Rig of the Year.
When it was famous.
Yeah, when it was famous. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's photographs of it kicking around because they took it into town. They took it to Adelaide with a set of triples and drove it round
in the main strip.
Yeah. There is as the triple, and it just looked amazing. But that photograph was one of those photographs that really, I think, sort of just opened up outback trucking for a lot of people. They looked at it and thought, "Geez, that's cool. That's just something really special." Pumped up front end, high flotation tyres and offset rims and big bull bar and all. It was just an oversized. The exhaust stacks were just oversized. The air rams were up on taller inlet pipes, so everything was just big on this thing. And the sleeper cab was like a custom for it. It was they took the old Mac box off and put the real. So the whole truck was just oversized. So with that triple set, when you got it and you poured it from highway replicas with the little Mac Superliner, it just didn't look right. And so it needed to be done. We did it. Little did I know that one of our good friends, that poster also meant something to him.
Yeah.
And the challenge was laid down. It was like, get that thing ready for the trip. We'll take it there and we'll replicate that photograph. And I mean, you were there. You did it. You took. All I did was finish the project because it had stalled. It was sitting in the box and collecting dust, and it wasn't complete. But under not duress, but under a lot of pressure. We got it done.
Oh, and
it did the 6,000 Ks there and 6,000 Ks back.
And we put it in that click-clack container in Auckland and packed it. And we thought, you gave me the glue and said, shit, if anything falls off it,
Here's the glue.
I'll make a pot plant hanger out of it. And it like someone was looking. Guy Spur, John Murphy, Matt Purvis, someone was looking down on us, mate, because
she
got there unscathed, and we set it up on the roof. We had to put it on the roof. I donated a singlet, took it off and ripped it up because we had to get the perspective half right. We had to put it on the roof of the rental, because the road's too low.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was really cool on the old Stewart Highway. We're like, Churchill's Head. It's supposed to be around here somewhere. We recognise it. There it is there.
Yeah.
And someone had put a cigar made out of a burnt stick in the mouth of the rock that was so...
There it is.
Yeah. So one of the crew braved the king brown snakes population and climbed up there and pulled that out, and we set it up, and it just looked like everyone was like, because we were all growing up kids from that era, growing up young people from that era, everyone was like, holy shit, that looks good.
It does.
And then photographing models is a shit of a thing, isn't it? Like the depth of field and all that garbage. And and then we're all standing around and we're taking a series of photographs of it, and it looked really good. And then we're all standing around and the wind went and blew, and it started rolling off the roof of the you've never seen 4 middle-aged slightly overweight men move. Like, we were like, shit, it's rolling. And I think it was someone had the foresight to grab the rear trailer from the back and stop it.
Pull the maxis on the rear unit.
Pull the maxis on the air. But no, that was fantastic. We did that, and then we moved on and mowed it up and took more photographs of cattle trains and everything, and called in at some old friends in different places and had some great afternoons yarning, and it was just a great holiday.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. No, that's what it's about. That is what it's about. But
speaking of Rig of the Year competitions,
I was just going to say, speaking of that's exactly it. That's where we're heading. It's
Olive the dog's just arrived, and
dogs.
it's against the law for you to be in here, Olive.
Yeah, well, if she keeps doing that, it is. Oh, my goodness gracious
Have
me.
you got the intense smell of your mum?
You're lucky that
She's
you
left,
haven't.
look. She can't stand it herself.
She's out. She's gone. She's dropped it and run.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, my goodness.
Speaking of dropping it and running,
Are you right there, Gav? That'll clear your sinuses.
yeah, that'll clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, put a towel over your head and breathe that in sport.
So yes, the
Coming up,
yes, the John Murphy Memorial Top Truck of the Year.
we've just put the August issue to bed. All the entries in there, how to
all the
enter, and all that,
details.
all the details.
Yeah, there's a good selection this year. I mean, the past few years there's sort of been a standout that you'd think that that one could take it away and that will be the winner, and you sort of watch the numbers grow and grow and grow, and it's a little bit lopsided, you get that one. But this year
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
there's
Yeah.
not one that stands out. They're
And
all
yes,
equal.
Yep, and we hear all the bullshit and we laugh our heads off because truth is, and everyone here, truth is, like, regardless of what you may have heard over the public bar or anywhere you like, we have nothing to do with it. We sit there and we watch the numbers.
Yeah,
tick,
we watch.
tick,
Yeah,
tick,
yeah,
tick, tick.
yeah.
So if you want your truck to win, meaning your truck in the royal sense, if there's a truck in there that you want to win, vote.
Every day.
Every day.
It's open,
Every day.
It's open for
Every
just
day.
about a full month, and you can vote every day.
We're just sitting back, watching what happens, and whoever gets the most votes will win it.
We'll win it. Yeah, exactly. So, that's the secret. There is nothing else behind it.
Yep.
Just get on and do it.
Yep, absolutely. And so we're actually in competition season too, because there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going
There's a
on.
lot coming up in the next issue. We also the Italeri Craig Christensen.
Yeah, Craig Christensen build a model truck competition for our up and coming budding model truckers. They'll remember last year we kicked that off with Italeri as our sponsor. Fantastic. They're back on board again this year. They absolutely loved it and what it stood for. And Craig, he's just one of those guys that, how he builds model trucks and what he does, using odds and sods and all the things he finds around the house or a building site or a rubbish bin or a blimmin' construction, this and that. Yeah, he just grabs odds and sods and puts a model truck together. And that's the whole crux behind it, is to give the youngsters that opportunity to just grab anything from round home. Cardboard boxes, toothpaste containers, blimmin', you name it. Just grab it all, stick it together and build yourself a truck, paint it up, grab a photograph of yourself with it and everything like that and send it in. That's it.
Maybe if I actually started with an old plastic pot plant hanger and pulled it to bits and reconfigured it, I'd end up with a W model Kenworth or a Max Superliner. I'm going to try that. Reverse engineer it.
Exactly, there you go.
But get around the house, find it, put it together, use your imagination. What's a wheel? What can be used for a wheel? What you don't need a lot to express your love of trucks.
No, that's it. That's exactly it. So yes, that's
and of course the ongoing monthly Night Moves competition.
Yeah, far out. Peterson Night Moves illumination competition. If you want to, we've had some fantastic entries over the month. They just keep coming in, and never fear, if you put an entry in, they don't get discarded at the end of the month or anything like that. We keep them. And we keep judging from the whole pool that just keeps growing. And boy, there's been some great winners. And this month again, we've got another fantastic winner. So yes, keep those entries coming in because there's a fantastic prize there to be won, and you get your picture printed in the magazine.
In the magazine, Peterson, lighting up your most precious asset and your life since forever.
Exactly. Yes.
There's some great entries coming too, eh?
Oh, far out. Yeah, again, this month was difficult to choose.
Yeah.
Sit there, but that's it. We go through them all together and pull the one that is at the top for the month. But don't fear. Your entry doesn't get discarded. They're all in there.
It's a revolving competition. And of course, down the track a little further, but coming up soon, is this year's Trucking Towards a Better Future competition, which is a hobby horse of mine. I am going to get the intellectual property out of the cabs of trucks if it stubs my toe.
Well, there you go. Yeah. No, it's out there. So get thinking because it's coming.
Oh, and election coming up. I suppose we'll be swamped with election stuff. Gav, you went to the
Transporting New Zealand Changing World Conference.
I was, alas, overseas at the time. And
Yes, down in Wellington a couple of weeks back.
give me a
And
mark out of 10.
a solid 7.5, I'd say.
Yep.
Yep, great speakers. A little down on attendance, unfortunately, but I suppose there were numerous factors that have contributed to that. People not being able to make it over the last couple of weeks, and really, really good speakers as ever. Somehow they have a knack for nailing the good talkers, and surprisingly, no punches were thrown during the electoral panel discussion with representatives of the 5 major parties. We thought it would get there at some point, but they were all pretty much well behaved and made a good case for their relative views on roading infrastructure and the challenges the industry faces. That's something else you can read about in the upcoming August issue, in the lead up to the elections, a summary of all of that, as well as a economic overview from Cameron Baggery and Phil O'Reilly. Some very interesting, thought-provoking stuff in there.
Yeah, Cameron's
I mean,
a
if
man
we
with a
can't
finger on
get
the pulse.
riled up and bash our fists on the table and state our case in an election year, then we might as well just
That's exactly
we
it.
might as well just cart shit and take what comes our way.
This is your opportunity.
Yeah.
To absolutely put the case forward.
Yeah. And of course, harking back to the start of the show, when our new shortly to be platinum rewrite
Yes.
of the On the Road cover, the news came out this week, the fantastic news of the opening of the Aratuhono Puhoi-Warkworth motorway, only to be followed by the news of
But
that
it's slip sliding
there's more than the traffic moving on that road.
32 whole days
Yeah.
after opening.
Yeah.
And already those orange traffic cones are coming.
Yeah, they
I bet when Chris Hipkins was standing there in the pissing rain under an umbrella today that they opened it, there were people with their legs and fingers crossed that the hill in the background didn't
start moving.
that didn't go bonk down onto the road.
But that's you got to ask yourself. But it did sort of spawn a whole pile of communication and conversation over the past couple of days as we've been putting the August magazine together, didn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We decided to come up with the Wakakotahi NZTA Top 10 playlist.
Yeah, road trip songs.
Road trip
Road
songs.
tripping playlist.
Yeah,
For the Wakakotahi. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Because
So,
I mean, we've had it's not a one-off event. This finishing roads and then having to.
no, there seems to be a bit of a common thread going.
There's a.
Oh, but I have a question. Are roads ever really finished?
Historically, they've been more finished for longer than they are. Yeah. Now we're sort of at
current
the,
situation.
Yeah.
now we're at the stage where it gives me great pleasure to open this road. Cut. It's buggered. What did you expect?
Yeah, that's right.
It's had 57 people walk on it. I mean, come on.
Yes. So, we've compiled.
Every day is a winding road at number 10.
Yes, by Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9, Carl.
Yeah. Where the streets have no lane.
Yeah,
Oh,
U2's where the streets have no name, which we've recoined where the roads have no lane.
lanes.
yeah, where the roads have no lanes. Yes, and number 8.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Or goodbye Well Paved Road.
Well paved road. And number 7.
We've sung it already.
Yes. That's our rewrite. Yes.
Supertramps Take the Long Way Home, dedicated to the people in the Coromandel.
Yes.
Living in Whangamata, Pawanui and Tairua
Yes,
and
and
Whitianga, who have taken the long way home now for half a year.
Hey,
Exactly.
that song always puts me in a good mood when I hear it. Now, whenever I hear it, I'm going to think of the poor people in the Coromandel. I'm going to get depressed.
And also the East Cape. We cannot forget our friends down there that are suffering similar turmoil as well after Gabrielle. So yes, that one's dedicated to you guys. And number 5, we're on the road to nowhere.
But this is a double whammy. Isn't it?
It is.
Right? Because the song is Road to Nowhere, and who sung it? Who sung it? the talking heads, didn't they?
Yes, that's right.
Say no more.
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't it?
Exactly. Yes, I see where you're going with that.
See where you're going with that?
Yes, and number 4.
Ashford and Simpson.
Yes, that's right. Like a rock.
Like a rock.
Yeah.
There's several of them currently falling down on the Coromandel Coast Road as we speak in this wind and rain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And at number 3, we have the Proclaimers with
500 miles.
Yeah, I would walk 500 miles because I can't drive them.
Yeah, that's right. I would walk 500 miles. They were speaking about fears of the heart.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, New Zealanders talk about necessity to get somewhere. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a number 2.
Number 2.
Slip sliding away. Yes, I think that one's self-explanatory.
Oh, absolutely. And rounding it off at number one is the Eagles making it greasy. No, sorry, taking it easy.
So there you go, the top 10 Waka Kotahi road trip songs brought to you by roads that can't take us anywhere.
Don't let the sound of your own wheels keep you screaming.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yes.
I hope it grips while it still can.
Oh, he's on a roll now.
I'm on a roll.
We might as well leave.
Yeah.
He'll keep you entertained for hours. But if you do have some suggestions, we'd love to hear them. Your rewrites, and don't hesitate to do a karaoke version or something like that, and pop it through.
Voice note to Trucking Radio
We'll play it. We'll put it on Trucking Radio 24/7. You've got no fear there.
I remember at the transport firm that I worked at for many years, and I remember sometimes in meetings we'd all be sitting around a table and pricing stuff and adding value and thinking outside the field and all the shit that we do now that we thought was in those days was the new. And there was one guy there, and there was one who'd been in the industry all his life, and he would say, "Stop," and everyone would stop, and he'd go, "Okay, here's what we do. We take a truck and we pick something up from Bill and we tie it on and we take it to Fred and we unload it and give it to Fred and he signs it and someone pays for it." That's what we do.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Let's start again.
Yeah.
Because we were like, we were adding value and and we go, okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And he'd say at the end of the day, it's the service.
Yeah.
Service.
Yeah.
That's quite right. Yeah.
And we need someone in the beehive, if there's anyone capable of doing that in the beehive, to it could be this week's transport minister, but is to say, like,
could be next week's transport minister.
Next week's transport minister. Yeah, yep. Thank you for sharing that with us, Gav. The roads facilitate the fundamental economic transaction between demand and supply. They allow that to happen. I am biased, and people will say I'm biased and blah, 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 but it's not a chicken and egg thing. Prosperity in the world we've created, chosen to create, not all worlds, but the one we in the West have created, prosperity relies on the interaction between demand and supply. And if you can't facilitate that transaction as smoothly as you possibly can, you're going to be in trouble. And the fundamental medium for facilitating that transaction is the roading network.
Yep, that's right.
Because it carts 93 point something to 92.8% of the freight moved by tonnage.
Yeah.
Right? So your health, your education, all of that shit starts with, you'll have no budget for any of those if you don't have a prosperous economy. And so when we're sitting here at doing all of the ideological, philosophical bullshit while the roading network falls into an abyss of crap, then there's only... It's not gonna, the sad thing about it is we'll muddle through till the crematorium and sort of live a life that's half reflective of the one we've lived. But the poor buggers that we leave behind are going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's got nothing to do with alternative propulsion. The road, they haven't replaced the tyre yet.
No.
Right? The roads are going to be required for a long time, and a truck in some form, I don't give a crap what it's powered for. It could be powered by fairy dust.
Yeah.
But you're going to need trucks to move shit from the suppliers to the demanders and from...
Yeah, all the development that's going on at the moment, there is not one single hover truck out there.
No.
They all still need wheels and tyres.
I see Suzuki was saying they're going to have a hover car.
They have?
Yeah, in the next
Wow.
couple of... Is it Suzuki was in the
I don't
news the
know.
other day? I think it was. You're going to be able to... I bet civil aviation are going, oh, my God. Yeah.
But we've had the conversation many times, and whenever it comes to anything involving the transport industry and the need for it to, let's say, express how important and vital it really is, if push really ever came to shove, if everyone just parked up their trucks for 2 or 3 days,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
then people will find out pretty quickly and realize pretty quickly exactly,
Yeah, because
what
I've,
needs to be done.
People say blockades. I'm like, no, hate the word. That was a different time and a different
different
place.
era,
And I said, we're that powerful. We don't need to. Blockades will only piss the mother trying to take a kid to the Starship Hospital off if she can't get it,
right.
and all of the...
It just puts you in a bad light with the public.
Yeah.
I've always said all we need to do, we can't get ourselves organised enough to have a single voice in front of Parliament, but if we could get enough to say, right, we're really irritated with these roads, this is really causing us some pain, we're not going to do anything except do nothing. And we mean literally nothing.
Yeah.
I've always said, the first 18 to 20 hours, the phones would be ringing at the carriers saying, where the hell are you? Where's my stuff?
Yeah.
The second 24 hours, the phones would be silent at the carriers and the phones would be ringing at the beehive.
Exactly.
And
That's
they'd be
it.
saying, find out what it is they want and listen to what it is they want
Yeah, and fix it.
and fix it. Because all that they want is prosperity for everyone.
That's right. Exactly.
And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the road is rapidly turning into the most dangerous workplace
Yeah, that's right.
in the New Zealand. And that's casting a shadow over the morals and ethics of a certain other government department that want you to paint a yellow walk line and put a grab rail up while the truck on the road down the road is in an understeer slide because the surface of the road looks like a mirror.
Yeah.
Looks like a mirror. Exactly, and that's it. That's exactly it. So no, it's it is. This is the year. Speak now.
This is the year.
Action.
Yep. Join in, get it. If you're not in an association, I don't get in one.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is, but if you get in one, make your voice known.
Yeah, don't sit there and wait for
It's
someone
no use
to do
going
there's
down
no-
waving a pitchfork at Parliament like those half-wits did, and get in a body,
Yeah.
influence the body.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Our
yeah,
law and order situation at the moment is a result of our own apathy. Every single thing is a result of our own apathy.
Yeah, that's right. And sitting on our hands waiting for someone else to do it.
Yep.
No, do it yourself. Get on with it. This is it. This is the opportunity. This is the time.
Right, that's the end of that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yes, so yes, please, the Waka Kotahi top 10. Let's make it the top 100, I reckon, and we can, sort of get your thinking caps on. This is it. Yeah. Send in your suggestions, and we might actually do a top 100 countdown with. We could get Muzz to sort that out.
That'd keep Muzz Trucking Radio 24/7 going for a while, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Let's do
Jeepers.
that. Send in your suggestions. We want to hear them.
Yeah. Muzz can hunt them all out and play them one weekend.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what
Maybe
we
the
want.
weekend before the election.
As long as he doesn't ask us to sing them.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll give it a go. I get better the more bottles I have. Yeah.
And you can just keep eating those Curels.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks
Another
for your
great
ears
month.
again. We'll talk to you in a month's time.
Yeah, fantastic.
If you want to make contact with us, talk on the comments thing on the radio, email us.
Shout out feature.
Shout out feature, all of those things.
Yeah,
Give us
all the
something to talk
details
about.
are on the cover of the magazine as well. So, grab your latest copy. And,
July's got a week and a bit to go. August's about to hit the shelves in a couple of weeks. It's just gone to the birthing unit. And don't forget our good friends over the way in Australia.
Yeah, keep your
Muzz
eyes
and
peeled.
Yogi, Craig and Co.
It's coming.
5th of August, the rebirth of trucking life.
Fantastic.
Exciting times.
All right, team. Have a great month.
Have a great month. Take care. Keep left, and we'll be safe.
You've been listening to the 5-Minute Moot with Dave McCoid, Gavin Myers, and Carl Kirkbeck. Any thoughts? Just get hold of Carl at nztrucking.co.nz.